clarify, was he emotional?
Yes.
Did he say anything to you about how the fire started or anything along those lines?
Nothing like that.
I have nothing further, Judge.
Cross.
Okay, defense.
Mr. Harrington, you, good morning.
Good morning.
Your involvement in this case, going back a little more than 7 years ago, you spoke to numerous law enforcement officers. Is that correct? I can be more specific. Let me try to be more specific.
Okay.
Originally, when all of the police were arriving, there was an officer that you spoke to kind of like in your garage area. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And you actually had told him that you were a former firefighter, right?
I guess.
Okay. And he was a uniformed officer.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember his name. It was Officer Bones. No. Okay. You also spoke to, at some point, I think, like a detective on scene. It was Detective Brady. Do you remember that?
I remember Detective Brady, yes.
And what about Fire Marshal Flanagan? Do you remember speaking to him?
I might have.
Okay. And eventually, on November 24th, you were interviewed by a private investigator who worked for the defense. Do you remember that?
Yes, I think there was one person who came up and spoke to me.
About what happened that morning?
Yes.
And after that, you eventually gave a statement, or you did give a statement to the prosecutor's office. That was Detective Weiss Barton Brady. That was on November 27th of 2018, so another few days later. Do you remember
A few
that?
days later, yes. They
That's
asked if
more-
I would go to the police station and give a statement about what I saw.
And that was like a more formal type statement?
Yes.
Okay, and that was a week later, right?
Approximately, yes.
So
Where are we going with
initially,
this, Kim K?
what you testified to today on direct, if I understand it, is that you're in bed, right?
Correct.
And you hear voices?
Loud voices, yes.
Loud voices. And those voices were multiple voices?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. And they were men, right?
I couldn't tell you whether they were men or women.
Okay. And so, do you recall telling the police that they were male voices? Actually, do you recall?
If you read it, I could probably remember.
Let's go back to this. You previously gave a statement to the private investigator, correct?
I talked to him, yes. I wouldn't say it was a statement. It was more like a casual interview while I was outside.
Okay. If I showed you a copy of
He's like, I was topless. It was tasteful. I was trying to get some sun.
his summary of your interview, would that help refresh your recollection of some of the things you said to him?
We're talking 7 years ago.
Right, of course. Okay, so I'm going to approach
My
with
ears were
E17.
2 sizes smaller than.
Which I had never seen before.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I just want you to...
This man has spent his retirement watching trials. He wants to be very clear on the record what happened. On the record, for the record, run the record back. Per Daryl Brooks, you know.
to take a look at this and review it and see if this refreshes your recollection as to what you told the investigator on November 24th, 2018 about who you heard speaking.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. If I said males, it could have been correct.
Okay, and again, like you said, you probably remembered a lot better then than you do now.
Oh, sure. I mean, time degrades everything.
Of course. And when you gave a statement to the prosecutor's office,
He's probably a good, great neighbor. You know, he probably, clears off people's yards and everything.
I can show this too if you'd like as well. Now, this one you have seen before, right?
Yes, I've seen them.
Okay, so I'm going to approach with what's been marked for identification as SED2. Mr. Harrington, this is a copy of your statement. I'm going to have you, if you flip to the last page,
Okay.
I'm just going to show you that it is 5 pages.
Yes,
And
okay.
this one has your signature on it.
Yes, it does.
So, and it also has your initials on the bottom, right?
Yes.
Because this one you reviewed at the time.
Yes.
And you wanted to make sure it was accurate, right?
I don't know whether that was the same day or not, but yeah, that's accurate.
No, I'm saying the reason they had you review it and assign it and initial it
Yes,
was so
because
that
it was pretty accurate, within reason, yes, I agree.
these were your words, right?
Yeah, I guess.
When you look at this statement, it's like question, answer,
Right.
right? Do you agree that these are the questions that they asked you and these were your answers?
If they're written there, that would be what I answered.
Okay.
In the question.
So I'm going to direct your attention to here, and if you could just read that to yourself and then just look up.
Okay.
Okay,
I see it.
so in addition to telling the investigator on November 24th that you heard male voices, you also characterized the voices as male to the prosecutor's office as well.
That's correct.
Okay. And you said you heard them speaking kind of loudly, or but not yelling, right? Or
Oh, there was, to me, it was very loud.
Very loud.
Whether you call it yelling or not, that would be,
Okay.
I'll try to figure it out. But
Subjective is what
no,
you're saying.
Yes, it was more one voice. I see, I said,
It wasn't. And when you heard the voices, you were lying in bed,
Yes, that's true.
and you didn't hear specifically what they said, did you?
I did not.
Okay. And then you said, I think, is it fair to say you kind of like fell back asleep for a little while?
Well, I let me put it this way. I probably just laid down with my head on the pillow because I usually don't go back. Once I'm awake, I usually don't go back to sleep. It might be a light sleep, dozing off back and forth.
Again, I understand you're testifying right now to what you usually do, but I'm going to direct your attention
Okay.
once again, just back to, this is the statement you gave to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yes.
And you told them I fell back asleep.
Well, I also said up here that it was a light state of sleep. Okay, so when I say sleep, it wasn't really going in.
This man he's very accurate and he's very particular. So, yeah, I like this guy because he's like, no, I clarified the state of sleep I was in.
To a REM type of sleep. It was just being, my eyes closed, being, like light sleep. I don't know how else to explain it,
Gotcha.
Any noise, anything. Just to clarify, I don't sleep very well anyway, so
Okay.
it would only be a light sleep that
Okay.
I'm talking about here. They're not incongruous, okay? They're both the same to me.
Got it. So you're in a light state of sleep, and specifically at around 4:30 in the morning, right?
Well, yes, because, as I said previously, I don't have a watch on or a clock in my bedroom. The only time that I can tell is what's on the cable box, okay? So if I said 4:30, maybe I glanced at it, and that was the time that I recollected that it was around 4:30. But it could have been later than 4:30, between 4:30 and 5. That's what I said,
Okay.
I don't know the exact time because I'm not looking at a timepiece.
I'm going to try to ask you just a very simple yes or no question, okay? You told both the private investigator and the prosecutor's office the week that this happened that you heard these voices at around 4:30 in the morning.
Yes,
You did, okay. And when you spoke to the officer on scene,
Come on, Snooky, hurry up. Gonna need you to have your
because so let me back up for a second. So you're in a light state of sleep.
defense. Stop backing up. You are on quicksand to begin with. You're heading backwards into lava. You have had no solid foundation yet. You keep taking these steps back like it's going to get you onto solid ground, but you weren't there to begin with.
It's around 4:30 in the morning. You hear the voices. You fall back into maybe a light state of sleep, and then you eventually wake up when you see lights. Is that right?
correct,
And that's when you go to your window,
correct.
and you start seeing what exactly?
That's when I saw the vehicle in Marilyn Klein's driveway, okay? And the person get out and walk towards the house with what I assumed was a fire extinguisher.
And the prosecutor showed you the photo of the vehicle. There was like a white vehicle and a red vehicle.
With the white vehicle is the one I saw.
You saw the white vehicle.
Yes, I believe so.
You did not see the red one.
I don't believe I did.
Okay. So you see the white vehicle once you get up and look out your window. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. And how long after that until you eventually come outside?
I would say, time-wise, it's hard because as I said to you, I don't have the time in mind specifically because I wasn't looking at the time. So by the time I got dressed, went to the bathroom, went downstairs, got my coat on, my hat, walked to the garage, opened the garage door, and went outside. Could have been anywhere between 7, 8, 10 minutes, something like that.
Okay, when you
seems
went
pretty
outside,
normal.
you saw at least 2 police cars, correct?
I saw police cars, yes.
Okay. And that was at around 5 a.m., correct?
Around somewhere in the general time frame,
Okay. You told the prosecutor's office it was approximately 5 a.m., fair?
approximately 5 a.m.
That's what he just said.
So, hear voices, multiple male voices at approximately 4:30 a.m., and then light state of sleep, fall back to sleep. About a half hour later, it's 5 a.m., and that's when you see the 2 police officers outside of your house, right? When you go outside.
You're kind of putting words in my mouth.
Okay.
I said
I wanna do that.
approximately 4:30, and if you listen to what I hopefully I said was sometime between 4:30 and 5, okay? That's a half hour without really looking at a clock or anything else like that. It was a generalization of the time frame and all this was going on.
When you say I'm putting words in your mouth, approximately 4:35, are you talking about when you initially heard the voices or when you saw the police?
No, you said 4:30. I'm not arguing with you, but you said that I said 4:30. I said approximately between 4:30 and 5. It could have been 4:45, okay? You understand what I'm saying? I used...
Yes, tell her. Tell her. I don't know why we're having this conversation. It's pedantic and it's not really moving us forward, but I like seeing this man put Snooki in her place, which probably says more about me than it does about Snooki, but what are you going to do?
4:30 as a baseline for me.
Okay. You used 4:30 as approximately 4:30,
Approximately.
right, as a baseline when you spoke to the private investigator on November 24th and when you spoke to the prosecutor's office on November 27th. You said
Correct.
that's approximately when you heard the male voices, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then at approximately 5 a.m., that's when you were outside and you saw the police, you saw the 2 police officers. Is that accurate?
Close.
That's what you told the
That's what I
prosecutor's
told them,
office.
yes, but I'm just saying that's about right. Again, I don't have a clock
Can
to
we
go
be,
by.
let's be clear, when we say approximately, we're not talking about to the minute, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
correct.
I'm not putting words in your mouth when I say approximately because we agree that we're talking about within a few minutes at least, right? We're not talking about to
Give
the
it a
second.
few minutes here and there,
Okay.
yes, thank you.
All right. And
I'm glad we wasted time to get over to clarify this for the record, on the record, run the record back.
at 4:30 a.m. approximately,
Thank you.
you did not see any lights, right?
No,
Okay, just heard the voices.
just the voices.
And eventually, when you come outside and you're speaking to the
Sir, so you weren't blinded by the light, shook up like something in the middle of the night? I always want to say peach fuzz, but I know that's not the word. I also don't remember what band sings that, but now I have it in my head.
officer in your garage. Again, you remember that conversation.
I
Maybe you don't
immediately came
remember.
up to the garage, yes.
Okay, and you remember speaking with him?
Yes,
Okay.
mostly a general
Shook
conversation.
up like
Nothing
a
the
deuce in
specific
the
that I
middle of the
remember.
night,
Was,
but-
do you have something that he said?
Actually, I do, and I have something you said. You told that officer, right, that you heard people talking about a half hour before all of the police people got there. Do you recall saying that?
I probably did, if that's what I told him.
Okay.
If that's what he said, but again, I'm using, I just don't want you to put me into a time frame that locks me into something when I just told you that I didn't have a view of a clock anywhere, okay?
So at this
So
point.
if I'm talking 4:30, I'm talking 4:30 as the general time frame.
Right, we've agreed on that. Now, at this point, when you're speaking to the officer in your driveway, you actually don't mention a time, right? You say so that's approximately, about a half hour before all the police got there is when you heard the voices. That's what you told that officer, correct?
That's what he said, because I don't remember the conversation. I remember generally.
Okay, that makes less sense, but hey, cool. At least now that it's running through my head, I'll have the correct lyric, because it always just kind of mumbles that bit when it's in my head.
Talking to that.
So when you say if that's what he said, seeing a transcript, he was uniformed, right?
Yes.
So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the
Okay.
body-worn camera, it records the conversation,
Okay,
and you have a
fine.
transcript. If I show you a transcript, would that refresh your memory of what you told
Sure.
him? Okay.
Unless this man, saw the other part of the Zapruder film, I don't know why we're spending this long on this.
Sir, the transcript just documents what is actually on the video.
Okay, it's fine.
So if the attorney is asking you something and they're saying that that's what's transcribed, that means that it's something that was on the actual recording.
Okay.
So in saying that, would you have any reason to disagree that that you had a conversation with a police officer? No one's trying to put you in a box. All we're trying to do is confirm with you that you had a conversation. And if Ms. Mastalone is saying this is what the transcript says, any reason to dispute it? All she wants to know is whether that's what you would have said or not, or to help you.
Sure.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
it. I think that's what we're trying to do, and no one's trying to talk you into anything.
No, I understand that.
And
I love that Ken's become such a good person after he, got kind of, well, buried in popcorn, and the other science nerds made him hear the voice of God through his braces. Real genius. Great movie. Val Kilmer before Val Kilmered himself.
just to move it along, so it's in that vicinity. And again, the timing is what you remember. It's all approximation. We got it.
Judge, I was just going to say that the state obviously would stipulate to the accuracy of the transcript that we create.
So of course, that's what I'm saying. So just trying to be helpful here and moving along this particular area.
The judge is like, good God. Can we move this forward?
Okay, so, sir, I'm going to approach with a copy of the transcript that we were just talking about. And I'm going to direct your attention. Well, first I'm going to show you the front page, okay? And you'll see there's like a legend.
What's it marked as, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is D102. There's a legend.
Love a Cheetos.
And the legend has like everyone's name and the initials that represent who the person is.
Okay.
And do you see how JH means
Yep,
John Harrington?
that's me.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct your attention to, we're going to start on page 14 of 38.
All
Okay.
right.
But we're going to, so your initials start here.
All right, so she's just going to make the point again that there are two ways to get into the house and where he actually is.
Sir, just watch your step as you come up. Raise your right. Only square. Okay. Once you sit down and
Hello, and the defense can take however long they want with this. Objectification of males.